Namo Sakamuni Buddha, Namo Sakamuni Buddha, Namo Sakamuni Buddha.
Okay.
Step out từ thiện đi lấy dây điện.
Yeah, Thiền, can you read please?
Yeah, more Phật thầy. There was another Buddha who was also named Sun Moon Bright, and then another Buddha also named Sun Moon Bright. There were 20,000 Buddhas like. This, all with the same appellation, all named Sun Moon Bright, and all had the surname Bavad Vaja Maitreya. You should understand that from the first Buddha to the last, all had the same appellation, all were named Sun Moon Bright. They were worthy of all the 10 epithets, and the law they expounded was good at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. The last Buddha, when he had not yet left family life, had 8 princely sons. The first was named Heaven Intention, the second Good Intention, the third Immeasurable Intention, the fourth Jewel Intention, the fifth Increased Intention, the sixth Cleanse of Doubt Intention, the seventh Excellent Intention, and the eighth Law Intention, dignity and virtue came easily to them, and each presided over a full continent land. I think the more of that. I think this is similar to what we read from chapter 1. It talk about the Buddha with the name Sun Moon Bright, and there is many Buddha with the same name, and they are the one that expounded the law at a very good at beginning, in the middle, and the end. And the last Buddha, he did not leave his family life, so he had 8 princely sons. So all of these is his name. This is from chapter 1 type.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Tammy, please.
At that time, Buddha's son moved. When these princes heard that their father had left family life and had gained Anatra Samukha Sambuddha, they all cast aside their princely positions and followed him by leaving family life, conceiving a desire for the great vehicle. They constantly carried out Brahma practices and all became teachers of the law. They had already planted good roots in the company of 1,000, 10,000 Buddhas. So it sounds like all of his sons, all of his prince sons followed in his footsteps in preaching the
Thank you. Yeah, cô Thân Nguyễn, please.
Dạ, Phật. At that time, the Buddha's son Moonbright bridged the great Vaisho Sutra and tied in immeasurable meaning, a law to instruct the Bodhisattvas, one that is guarded and kept in mind by the Buddhas. When he had finished preaching the sutra, he sat cross-legged in the midst of the great assembly and entered into samadhi of the place of immeasurable meaning, his body and mind never moving. At this time, heaven rained down Mandarava flowers, great Mandarava flowers, Majusaka flowers, and great Majusaka flowers, scattering them over the Buddha and the great assembly, and everywhere the Buddha was awake and trembled in 6 different ways. Um, At that time, the monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen, heavenly beings, dragons, yakshas, gandharas, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, and mahoragas, the human and non-human beings in the assembly, as well as the petty king and the wheel-turning state king, all those in great assembly gained that they had never had before, and filled with joy, pressed their palms together and gazed at the Buddha with a single mind. Um, so in this part, the Lotus Sutra teaches us that at the time the Buddha's sun moon bright entered the great Vaisho Sutra. It is actually a law to instruct the bodhisattvas, and when the Buddha entered into samadhi, all the beings, the heavenly being, and all other being was around him was happy, and all of those they also at that time ultimately gained with many choice and have a single meditations mindset towards the teachings of the Buddhas.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I picked the wrong session. Yeah, let me type one more time. Sorry. I think we passed this one. Sorry. I think I put uh, last week is June. Oh, June 6th. I think that's right, right? But, so let me go back again. Sorry, I messed up the para. Last week is June 5th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please be with me. I forgot. What the hell? Oh, last time we did finish chapter 10, right? Sorry, I marked wrongly.
You want me to see the recording?
Yeah, stop. Sorry, I forgot.
Let me look at the recording.
Yeah.
Uh, Oh,
Which page?
wait a minute. Okay. Mm, that week is June 6th, right?
Hmm.
No, June 5th.
I think we were somewhere at Medicine King or something like that today.
Yeah, đúng rồi. I got good part. Usually mark it, but I don't know why. May 21. Okay, I see.
Okay, yeah, you want me to share you the screen?
It will go. I think Albert can find.
Good, let me share you the screen.
Rồi thầy share. Sorry, I forgot to mark it. And then mess up. Here go thầy.
Can you see it?
Which page number?
125.
Okay, good. Yeah. Which part?
No, 126. Basically, 126 at the end. 1 2 3 6.
Yeah, sorry.
126.
Hmm. Which one? This is from the top and the bottom.
126. No. You not the 126 page from the PDF. From the PDF, you say 126 from PDF. Yeah, up. One more. Up one more. Yeah, right here somewhere. Up a little bit. Medicine King, I think.
Yeah, I think the part of Medicine King was already written. The second
This one,
part.
huh? This
Yeah.
one. So this one, have you read this?
Yeah, we can start here. I think so.
Okay, sorry, I apologize. Yeah, I need to mark it. Yeah, cô Hương Nguyễn, if you can read one more time, please. Sorry.
Yeah. At that time, the world's honest one, wishing to state his meaning once more, spoke in verse form, saying, "If you wish to put aside all sloth and reminiscence, you must listen to this sutra. It is hard to get a chance to hear this sutra, and believing and accepting it is hard. If a person is thirsty and wants water, he may dig a hole in the high plateau, but as long as he sees soil dry, he knows the water is still far away. But bit by bit he sees the soil grow damp and muddy, and then he knows for certain he is nearing water. Medicine King, you should understand that people are like this. If they do not hear the Lotus Sutra, they will be far removed from the Buddha's wisdom. But if they hear this profound sutra, which defines the law of the voice hearer, if they hear this king of the sutra and afterward carefully ponder it, they then you should know such person have close to the wisdom of the Buddha. If a person expound this sutra, he should enter the third come one room, put on the third come one robe, sit in the third come one seat, confront the assembly without fear, and broadly expand it for them, making distinctions. With pity and compassion are the room, gentleness and patience are the robe, the emptiness of all phenomena is the seat, and from that the position one should expound the Lord for them.
That's right. Yeah. Go ahead, cô Hương Nguyễn.
Yes, thưa thầy. So, in this part, the sutra, the Lotus Sutra teaches us that the beings that um, like people with thirsty and they need water, and also for us who we are Buddhists and learning on the way um, to to the path to enlightenment. And when we can learn from this Lotus Sutra, then we know that the beings that learning this sutra is close to the Buddha wisdom and have practiced the way to enlightenment. And also in here, the Buddha explained to us that compassion is a room to enter the Buddha house, and gentleness and patience is the rope that protects beings walking on the path. And also the emptiness of all phenomena is the seat in which beings will not attack easily to think around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayida.
Thank you. So these are the important principle, right? The Buddha gave this type of analogy. We enter the room of the Buddha, the room of compassion. Why is that? Why we supposed to enter the room of compassion of the Buddha?
Thưa thầy, I think because in Buddhism and also in this Lotus Sutra, the Buddha put himself in equally with sentient beings, that everyone will become the Buddha in the future. So yeah, for example, if I go to work, if my manager say, "Oh, one day you can go to my sit on my desk and do my job," I think none of them can say this. But in here in Buddhism, we learn the Buddha left lecture, he left instructions behind, and he motivated people to do different assignment on the Bodhisattva to slowly expanding our compassions to sentient beings. Yeah, this is what I understand.
Thang Thiền, you understand what to say that you should enter the room of the Buddha, the room of compassion. You understand that? Why is that? Why is not the room of wisdom? Why is not the room of patience? Why is not the room of meditation, but the room of compassion? What does it mean?
I think when you enter a room and you practice to cultivate patience and compassion, and this is the room where you should be practicing. That's how I understand.
Tammy, you understand what's the meaning of enter the room of compassion? You understand that?
So I think it means that just the feeling that you want to have is, and that you want to send out, is going to be one of pity or compassion, just to put you in that place of being willing to step out and help others. Because with both pity and compassion, when you're in that feeling or that vibration, then you're willing to help others. And that's why you need the gentleness and the patience to be.
Yeah. That's yes, almost correct. Yeah, thầy giáo pháp, please.
Yeah, move on. Yeah, move on. I think it's this is the most important key, the difference between the Mahayana and Theravada. In the Mahayana, this is where we not only benefit ourselves but benefit others as well. In order to benefit others, we need to have compassion. But why? Because the sentient being is the foundation for the Bodhisattva path. So we have to rely on the sentient being. So we have to help them to be able to liberate them from the suffering. So they are the foundation for the Bodhisattva path. That means we need to have compassion. If we don't have compassion, we cannot help sentiment. And also, you want me to stop right here, or you want me to do this the next step?
What's mean by room of
room it mean
room of compassion? Actually, in universe,
yeah,
house of compassion, but doesn't matter. Room or house.
Yeah, compassion. That means the key. The key here to liberate the living being. In order to liberate the living being from suffering, we need to have compassion. And that because the living being is the foundation for the Bodhisattva path. To practice the Bodhisattva path, without living being, there is no Bodhisattva path.
Okay. So why didn't the Buddha say room of patience or the room of wisdom instead of the room of compassion? What's the difference then?
Well, the wisdom is represents for the well, we have wisdom, that's good, but doesn't mean, but we in Mahayana, we are more focused on the help order is the most important. That's how we be able to have enough blessing and wisdom in order to attend the Buddhahood. If we don't help order, we cannot be able to attend the Buddhahood. Wisdom without compassion will only benefit.
Yeah,
But compassion
no,
without.
I mean that's understandable. But my question is, but my question is that why didn't the Buddha say room of patience, room of wisdom instead of room of compassion? That's what my question. You don't need to explain what's moving compassion, wisdom, and so forth. Why is that? Why room of compassion, not room of wisdom, not room of patience? Why is that?
No, they well, patience is well, compassion means for the create the connection, the affinity to others.
Yeah. John, do you understand our communication, John?
Will you repeat that?
Probably you may not understand much. Why didn't the Buddha say you should enter the room of wisdom, of patience, instead of you should enter the room of compassion? Why is that?
So into the room of compassion.
Yeah, why is that? And on the other hand, the Buddha said that you need to wear the robe of patience, the robe of the Buddha, that's means patience. You see connection there? Tell me. You understand the connection
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, so yeah, that's okay. You understand the connection there? The Buddha said you need to enter the room of compassion and wear the robe of the Buddha, the robe of patience. You see the connection
Yes,
there?
because to have compassion for others, you have to have patience. So you have to have lots of patience and gentleness to be able to have compassion for others. And it's the room of compassion because you're with compassion, you're able to step out and help another. Where with wisdom, you might know what to do, but you won't make that effort to step out. And the same thing with patience. Patience will give you the feeling where you can be calm enough and maintain to have the compassion for others.
Yeah. Yeah, cô Thương Nguyễn, you see connection? And plus, the third one, the seat of emptiness, the seat of the Buddha, that means emptiness. You see connection there?
Yes, Thầy. Maybe I think in terms of because I am a kind of, I think very physically in mechanical space. So I think the room of compassion is bigger than is. If someone has the aura, the compassion aura around, it's including the head, body, and the vibration around. So there's a room or a house can this person or this being can enter. So the compassion vibration is bigger than the patient rocks describing the clothes. So it's cover the body, and it means also the action, the deed of the body is need to be also purely impatient, completely patient, and the sit the sit is in emptiness. Uh, um, that most of the time people have motivation to act or to do something normally. However, if they don't have any motivation based on attachment or some idea, they don't do. But in this state of emptiness, also uh, doing things without seeing that doing helping or based on some intention or base, which is also even the good deed or the good thought. And I think that part is one of the most hard part for beings to practice. So this is what I think today.
Okay. So again, three of them should work together, right? Three of these conducts should work together. And why didn't the Buddha say you need to sit under the Buddha sit up, the sit up rock, the sit up metal, the sit up wood instead of the sit up emptiness? Right? That's been not supposed to attach to, right? It's whichever you do, that's speak out. So again, like you say, when we talk about enter the room house of compassion, yeah, it's been speak correctly that it's like our eye arrow. So when we walk into that room, people could feel our compassion by action. They're not talking, but by action, we could feel that our could feel that vibration, could feel that kind of frequency that we send out. Otherwise, yeah, they may be scared, would not dare to communicate with us. So we should start from within ourselves. And of course, on the top that where the rope of patience, compassion go hand in hand with patience, right? Like the mothers, tell me you love them, you love your children. That's why you have to be patient. Whether they run around, they yell, or
That's
whatever,
right.
right?
That's right.
Without loving, there's no way for you to be patient with them. So that's why it's go hand in hand. But the sit up emptiness is so important because that indicate or it reminds that not to attach to anything. As long as we have the kind of attachment, we get stuck with everything we do. So that's why these three principles go hand in hand together. Uh, so all the tradition they may talk about, oh yes, you have to be compassionate, you have to be patient with other people. That may not talk much about emptiness. They may not talk much about detachment. So let's go back then. So Thông you understand the concept now? Thông you understand the concept? Three of them go together. You understand that?
Yeah, okay. So you're saying
The concept of you have to have compassion, patience, and emptiness too, right? Otherwise, if you have compassion and patience only, that's not enough. Why is that? Thân thiện, you know why?
Those are not enough because so we have to have those to be go hand in hand in order
Mm.
to practice in giving and to help others to attain liberation. Without those, and it would be very hard to practice the way.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, thầy giáo Pháp, can you explain these three principles work hand in hand with each other?
Yeah. Just like so, we need to have compassion, right? But in order to and so we also need to have patience because we have compassion for them. But patience help us to develop the compassion even deeper. But in order to make this to successfully, whatever we do, we should not have any self attachment. Um, and the emptiness is represent the one who enlightened. It represents the one who attend enlightenment. That is what emptiness, and also this is the ultimate wisdom. Um, and that's why when the person with this kind of emptiness, that means whatever they do not have any self-attachment. For example, when we do the giving, right, there are three marks that indicate that the given with no self. The first one is when we given, we don't see ourselves as the donor, right? When we don't also see the person as the receiver, and we don't also see the gift that we given. So that these three mark here, it represents for given no self. Therefore, when the other person later on, let's say that the person that we help them, right? Later on, they come back, they harm us. We because we do not attach on the self. Therefore, we have no problem. But otherwise, we will have problem. We will carry the resentment.
Yeah. Yeah. If we love our siblings, what happens if we still attached to them? What happens? Mm. Yeah, Thanh Nguyệt, you understand my question?
Oh, sorry. I did not hear the first part that you asking me.
Yeah. I ask you that. Let's say, if we love our siblings, we are patient with them. What happens if we attach to them? What happens then?
Yeah, I think if we attach to them when they are nice and good to us, we are happy. And when they are not nice and not good to us, we are angry. And yeah, without any device control, they control our mood, our emotions.
Yeah. With our siblings, right? Our friends, our spouse, or children, whoever, right? Yeah. That's why. That's why it's so important. Tammy, you understand these three concepts, the three principles work together? You understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. But it's not easy, right? Thân Thiện, you understand that? Let's say you love your brother and sister, right? You are patient with them. Whichever thing they do, you will not let go. Is that the problem? You understand, Thân Thiện?
You won't let go because
You attach to whichever thing you have at the mouth. You attach to them. That what's the problem? If you have that kind of attachment, of course, on the other hand, if we have we detach from things that we have them, things that they do. So you understand the two opposites behavior that we may have. You understand that thing?
Behavior, that means
You follow thing?
meaning that when they say something nice or do something good to you, you're happy, and then when they do something nice or do something that disturbs you, you are very unhappy.
Yeah, that's the point. If we have some sense of attachment to them. Let's say if we love them and we're patient with them, but they don't care about us, right? They're not patient with us. Yeah. If we're attached to them, uh, we would not prolong that type of love and compassion. Love, love, compassion, and patience at all. Because of attachment, because we expect that they have to do in the way that we do for them. But let's say, okay, we just try our best to be compassionate toward them, be patient. So whichever, regardless of what they do, we will spread that compassion and patience much last longer. Mm. Okay, so that's three conditions is so important. The three principles is so important. All right, let's just move on. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, thầy giáo pháp, you can read please.
Start from where to if when a person expound. If when a person
Yes.
expound this sutra, there is someone who speak ill and revile him or attach him with word or save, tie, and stone, he should think of the Buddha and for that reason be patient. In 1,000, 10,000 million land, I will manifest my pure and doable body, and the immeasurable million of kapas will expound the law for living being. If after I have entered extinction, there are those who can expound this sutra, I will send the four kind of believer metrically concerned monk, nun, men, and women of pure faith to offer arms and cause them to listen to the law. They will lead and guide living beings, assemble them, and cause them to listen to the law. Continue on. If someone think, yes, sir.
Yes.
You want me to stop right here? If someone thinks to do evil to the preacher, which were and stave or with tile and stone, I will dispatch person medically concerned who will add to God and protect them. If those who expound the law are alone in an empty and silent place, and in that stillness there no human voice sound, they read and decide this sutra. At that time, I will manifest my pure and radiant body for them. If they forget a passage or a phrase, I will prompt them so they will be total and effective. A person endowed with this virtue should expound to the four kind of believer and read and recite sutra in the empty space. I will enable all of them to see my body. Okay, so basically, the Buddha said that even though after he entered into the extinction, if anyone who preaching this sutra, he will magically send the four believer. That means monk, nun, man, woman, and they are the one who help to gather the assembly to listen to the teaching. And also he said that if anyone who harmed this preacher, and he also sent magically the Dharma protector to protect this preacher. And also if this person who stay alone in the empty space or silent place, he also the Buddha also when that person recite and read the sutra, he also manifests his pure body and radiant body for them to see it. If this person forget a passage or a phrase, he will prompt so they be able to remember it. So this kind of this if this person is now with this virtue should expound the four kind of believers so they can be able to read. So basically, this is when we do expound the sutra, we are not alone. We all been protected by the Buddha. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably most of the sutra mentioned is kind of and spiritual then thing you understand that you feel some kind of spiritual protection and blessing when you recite some type of sutra like this sutra, Lotus sutra, Sto Bodhisattva sutra, thân thiện.
Một vật thể.
Follow my question.
I think it is when we recite the sutra or the mantra and cultivate the way, and I'm pretty sure the Dharma protector will be there to protect you.
Yeah, Miss Thân Nguyễn, you recognize it as spiritual blessing when we decide the sutra, mantra, and so forth. Could you feel that?
Yes, sir. I think I can say that my life now is clearly evident that there are protectors of sutras. When we recite the sutra, we get support from the Bodhisattva and the Buddha.
Can you give some example? Something that happened to you, whichever way you share.
Yeah, many times that especially with my new job, there are situations that people conflict a lot, and they most of the time they point to a new engineer, and we had a team with very young for few years working, and then since I have the most working year experience, so I got the most difficult assignment to solve the issues. And I remember that it was a very difficult assignment. And in the morning before I go to the factory, because I need to search for the truth, I first need to investigate what happened so that we know how to solve the issues. So in that morning, I stand front of the. So in here I have a place where I have many all the Buddhas that I had since I went to India and to travel to any country. I put all of this Buddha in the place, and I recite the compassion mantra 2-3 times, and I asked the Buddha to support me that today when I go to the factory, I should know the truth what happened. And one day before they even have big fight, and then after that, when I went to the factory, I met these colleagues, these Dutch colleagues, and somehow from the beginning, he was really have very good vibration and compassion person. Then after that conversation, then I knew that I certainly knew that he he worked very long in this company and he know a lot of technical things that most of the people don't know. So yeah, I think we have a conversation with after 2 hours. All the truth come out. Yeah, and after that I start investigation and solve the issue. But I do think that with in that morning, if I did not recite a mantra and pray to the Buddha to support me meeting these good people around, I would not able to solve this on my own. Because I do think that anything we do, everything we see here around us, it's made by people. And most of the time in technology as well, the advanced technology also to serve the humanity and the people. So wherever there are issues between people, most of the issue come from humans. And without the support of the Buddha in the good way, with the compassion way, with based on emptiness and patience, people will keep fighting and they won't find the solutions. So I clearly see this many times in my life. So I truly believe that the teaching of the Buddha in this Lotus Sutra is the truth for anyone, for any beings, and for any countries, or yeah, for any universe. This is how we should yeah, we should cooperate and learn to live together. Yeah, this is what my experience.
Yeah. So I think most of the religious people, not only Buddhists, but other like Christian, Muslim, and so forth, they have this kind of spiritual support from their supreme power, whichever way. So thầy giáo pháp, you like to say something that you because when you recite the mantra.
Yeah, Mobaka, I think it's many times, it's happened many times. Not only the sutra, any kind of sutra, if I sincerely recite, this is how you notice that the Buddha is there or not. Basically, on your top of the head, you will feel the end is calling on your top of head. And what does that mean? It means that the Buddha is touch our heads to certify that they are here, and it happened quite a lot. And and that means we and when that happens, the energy is really good. It's very good energy come into the body. Okay. So that usually happens. And also whenever I do, for example, when I prepare for the teaching material or whatever I do, I stuck and I just recite the great compassion bodhisattva name, and after that I be able to find a solution quickly, very quick. Yeah.
Henry, you feel about that, about this kind of story? Well, since you are new in a tradition, what do you feel? Is that because of belief? Because what do you
So
feel?
I know that feeling he's talking about, of like your hair standing on, and I didn't know that that's what that was supposed to represent. I just thought it was like your angel beings around you or something showing you support. So I didn't quite understand that. But as far as like feeling protection, extra protection, and after reciting the different mantras and stuff, for sure, I can feel that. And also just feeling kind of like a rebalancing of energy, just kind of a calming, just like meditation, but just a different feel of it. But the biggest time that kind of stands out in my mind of like really feeling the protection of the Buddhas was not this past celebration, but the celebration before. So I think it was at the end of March, the Enlightenment celebration. Like I came to it, And at the end of it, we did the lotus flowers where we lit the lotus flowers, and then, you know, concentrated on whatever we wanted. I just wished health for my family and happiness and that kind of thing. But that evening when I got my children came home, my son was very upset. Like the whole evening, he had just horrible behaviors. I couldn't get him to calm down. And finally, when we laid down to go to bed, he wanted me to play some music. So I got my phone out and I had the heart mantra on where I listened to it. So it automatically came on. I switched it to a kid's song. And after we listened to kid's song, he was like, you know, Mama, turn on the music from the temple again. So I put it back on and he was still so upset. And finally, you know, after he listened to that for a while, then he started talking about his day. And he told me that he had went to a playground with his dad and his sister, and there was like a train tracks there that I guess you climbed up and down the steps. But anyways, at some point the train, like they were on the tracks, it sounded like, and the train was coming. And his father didn't realize because he said, Mama just said, Daddy, there's a train coming. And he ran and got Hannah off the tracks.
Really?
And so like just that day I felt extra protected. Like after he said that, like I felt like just going through the whole process of going to the celebration and going to the temple and really having those intents helped to protect my family that day.
Wow. I didn't know that. So wow, this just feel good. Wow.
And I think listening to the getting that rhythm for him actually helped him like get all those words out and to actually tell me what was going on. So it's all really good. It's all very healthy and helpful for sure.
So your ex-husband didn't tell you this story except your son?
No, and I even asked about it afterwards. I sent him a text asking about it. And he didn't respond till the next day and said, what are you talking about? What train are you talking about? And now my son, he denies it all. He rewrote it. Later on, he went back with him and he came back. He said, Mama, that's not how it happened. Daddy remembers better. So no, I would have known.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's right. Thân Thiện, you feel that, Thân Thiện, you recite Judaism, right? You recite the compassion mantra for your mom, right? And for yourself, you feel that kind of energy around?
Dạ mô Phật thầy. I think if I recite like 7 or 9 times Judaism, I feel something, but I think it's better if I recite more calm and peaceful. And I also and encourage my sibling to recite Judaism with me.
Yeah, that's why I used to tell you that even I love meditation, but again, with my own spiritual experience, I know that I cannot work by myself. I have to rely upon the power of the Buddhas and Bodhisattva by reciting the mantra on the top of that. Yeah, otherwise it's not easy because everyone of us has all kind of karmas, especially the bad karma that we did in the past. And it's like let's say if we want to go from here to New York without flying, we can walk. We can walk from here to New York. We said a lot of times uh, to walk there. Yeah, it's good for us to have a car. Of course, on the top of that, yes, if we can fly, it much quicker. So in terms of transportation, we can feel that kind of spiritual action and blessing from Buddha and Bodhisattva could help us um, to progress in our spiritual path. Plus, on the top of that, in doing things for others, helping others, yeah, with this kind of blessing, it's much smoother, much easier for us to do. And again, and depend upon how sincere we are. Nguyện you understand why is that. Let's say if we have sincere mind, if we don't put names inside mantra, the blessing is that condition. What do you think? Why is that? Do that. Why is that?
And for us as well, we have our parents, we have friends, we have good friends, we have teachers, we have bodhisattvas around us, we have the Buddha around us, and if we don't find a way to communicate, we ourselves we forget them, and when we are in a not safe situations, they might not help us on time. They might not be there on time.
Is that condition? If the people they don't understand this type of spiritual protection, the spiritual lesson, so they say, "Oh, I have sincere mind toward the Buddha and Bodhisattva. That's more than enough. Why do we need to decide mantra? Why do we need to decide sutra and so forth? Why is that? Why do we need to put those effort? Why is that?"
Thưa thầy, because like I myself at my job, I cannot deal with many people in different departments on my own. I need my colleagues. So the same, we live in the world with different beings, and if we don't recite and we don't recite the mantra, we don't put the effort, uh, slowly somehow we will be influenced by others things that detracts us from the path. So to keep us since we in our life we deal with many different things, and we confront with many challenges, and every Buddha has his quality and his special quality to teach us, and why not we don't have the connection with them so that we can feel support.
Thân thiền, you understand why, right? You understand? Yeah, even you have sincere mind to Buddha and Bodhisattva, right? But you still need to put some effort in meditation, decide mantra, decide the names, or decide Buddha, right? You know why, right?
Yeah.
Why that?
Um,
Why?
because we need to have those practices in order to have a protection, and it's also that it will prevent you from being swayed from attachment, or it may prevent you from getting along with the evil beings. It to keep you on the good side so that it will remind you to practice the way and follow this path. And it helps you, yeah, how I understand.
Okay, yeah, Tayo Pháp, can you explain one more time? Why do we need to put more effort in chanting, decide Buddha name, and so forth? Even we have the sincere mind.
Yeah, more perfect. Just like the Amitabha Buddha, he have a vow that whoever recite his name, right, he will help them to be born into his man. Yes, if we only have a faith in him, but we do not recite the Buddha name, that means we do not put any effort into it, and that means we do not be able to create affinity with him. Because due to his vow, that means we need to recite his name. That's how he be able to help us. just like he already reached out his hand all the way, right? We have to somehow to a little bit raise our hand a little bit to be able to hold his hand, right? If we don't raise our hand a little bit, we cannot be able to hold our hand.
Thank you. It's a good analogy also about, you know, in the past, people got the fire from using the mirror or the lens, right? If you want mm, to get the fire, so they put underneath of the mirror, and they need to keep the mirror for a while so that the sunlight is concentrated and burn the lid there. Or if we want to turn in the channel, radio channel, or if we video clips or whatever, we need to actually do that so that we can see that video clips. We can see that channel, we can hear that radio channel and so forth. So even we believe we have sincere mind toward the Buddhist life is not enough. We need to put in action and put more effort in that, so that it will help us to be in tune with the frequency. Um, okay.
Yeah. I think also the same thing with the if we have the a person phone number, if we never try to call them, we cannot talk to them.
Okay, that's good. And then also, yeah, with our ID, right? You know the ID number for this. Give them a log in. We're gonna see you, right? Tell me. Okay. All right. Good then. All right. So thank you. So let's finish up then. Go ahead, Thân Thiện, please.
Namo Sakamuni Buddha, Namo Sakamuni Buddha, Namo Sakamuni Buddha.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
I think.
Yes, thank you everyone.